morning, Dubai. Welcome back to Lovin Dubai show. Our top stories today: the Dubai princess saves a Runover-Pup.
We'll also be talking about warning issues over medical products.
This taxi driver is giving lifts and life advice.
And Liverpool fans celebrate.
And we're also going to be celebrating this weekend because George Ezra is going to be live in Dubai and tickets are selling fast.
And right after that, we'll be interviewing Dubai resident who will be sharing her breast cancer story. But before that, we have something very, very exciting for you guys, which is sitting right in the middle of our table.
We love a giveaway. We love it because we rarely get to do them. And today we are giving away these very fancy, very beautiful Xiaomi Buds 3. And we're going to give them to one of you. Not you.
Why though?
Because we're going to give them to someone who watches the show. All you have to do is tag a friend to win. Tag someone.
Tag someone. Okay, so this is how you win. Get in the comments and tag someone who doesn't have the best taste in music.
And you want to encourage them to have a better taste in music. So tag someone who has a terrible taste in music right now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm going to right now go on. I'm going to tag Shahir.
Because he needs a better taste in music?
Yeah.
I think he's got a good taste in music.
His music, his superiority in his taste of music is what upsets me. Because he just, you know, these people who are always like, oh, I discovered this band first. I'm like, no, you didn't. You didn't discover the band first.
But that's what I think is okay, because within the group, you're the first one to discover the band, and it's fine.
He was sitting on this show, and he was like, do you know the Moxies? Do you know the Moxies? I discovered them last night. You should listen to them. I'm like, are you telling the whole world that you discovered this band? Are you their agent? Are you their promoter? Are you getting paid for this?
I mean,
otherwise, no, we did not discover them.
I'm sure in the office, he was probably the first one to hear or listen to the Moxies, no? In the office, he was probably the first.
He's on a live show.
So he's like, I discovered it, like,
he
within his circle.
I'm sure his taste of music, and actually, props to Shahir. He does the music in the speakers in the office, and I love that. It doesn't matter what tempo it is, but there is some questions over his choices then too. But I'm okay with them as long as someone's putting music in there, because I cannot deal with the silence.
Yeah, I mean, questionable choices here and there, so I get it. I get it. Why you attack Shahir now? But only the thing about discovering music, because I know if I discovered something before all of my friends, I would totally, you know, like, ring the bell about it.
But he wasn't in a friendship environment. He was in a telling about 3 people that he discovered the Moxies. I don't know. It's not Shahir. It's when people have they have this like superiority over their playlists and they kind of like own them. It was more when I was like growing up and in school, and it was this kind of sense that like, oh, this is my band, and even if you start listening to them, they're like, oh, I discovered that, and you're like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, when
you heard them on the radio first.
Yeah, when they have the possessiveness over the music, or when they have like their playlist that they feel so superior about, and they diss on yours. Yeah, that sense I get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we see comments coming through. You're all tagging people. That means the people. If you just got tagged in this, by the way, if you just got tagged by your friend, they've just shaded you publicly. Because they have just told the world that you do not have a good taste of music. Who would you tag?
Look at us encouraging shade on a Monday morning. Love that. Who would I tag?
Look at these nice Xiaomis.
I would tag my sister for sure. I would tag my sister. I don't know, I just feel like I've never heard the kind of music she listens to. Is
she not allowed? So you live with your sister?
Yeah.
Is she not allowed use the speakers?
She's an AirPod user, headphones user.
You don't know what type of music she listens to when you live together?
I have no idea.
Do you listen to music in the house?
I do, sometimes. Yeah.
And she's not allowed rights over that?
No, she can.
She's probably not allowed like invade the airspace with her music, because that's Simran's airspace. Am I right?
No. You tell me, who would you tag?
Shahir.
Shahir.
Also, not only do you get these fancy Xiaomi Bud 3s, which are super cool and they are amazing noise cancellation, you also get what's inside this box, which is a water bottle, a notebook, and a pen. We are giving on this Monday morning, are we not?
We are so giving this Monday morning, but look at this bottle. I love it.
And there's not just one, there's 2 pens and a nice inky one. You can never get a good inky pen
very slick. This is like for your hot, cold waters.
Yeah, so we see
Drinks.
tags coming through. We're screenshotting them. We also see them coming through on all of the other channels. And we're going to DM someone later today. Not right after the show because we move on to other things, but later in the day we'll send a DM.
Exactly.
And we'll announce it on our stories. Okay, let's jump into our top stories today. A Dubai princess saves a run-over-pup. So this is another horrific tale of a Dubai animal being run over and left to die. But this one has a happy ending. I'm so happy to share with you. So Stray Dog Centre, they shared the story about Benny, who was in critical condition after a hit and run. He was left alone for 2 days and suffered multiple injuries after a car hit him and drove straight on. So they shared the story and they said, once again, the Dubai royal family steps in to support our dogs.
Now, Her Highness Sheikha Latifa bin Rashid Al Maktoum answered our call for blood donors and sent her beautiful doggies, Teddy, Tiny, Blue, Arson, and Bonnie to give blood this morning. And Anik and Jackie were the first responders last night who sent Maya and Simba. All paws are joined in the effort to save Benny, and he is in a much better position and health right now.
So if you're watching the video next to us, it's quite a shocking video on Facebook, and it shows the state that Benny was left in, and it just this is one of so many stories that they share, and it's just shocking and it's gross and it's horrific, and every single story breaks our hearts when we see it. And these, Stray Dog Centre, along with many other rescue centres, are constantly working, constantly on call, and constantly saving these dogs. And in this particular story, they shared the story of Benny multiple times. So it's been ongoing for maybe a week. He needed emergency operation, and then obviously Benny needed blood. So what the Dubai princess did is that she sent over her dogs to give the life-saving blood transfusions.
That is so sweet. And we keep hearing stories like this where royals always step in to save these animals who need the help. And it's incredible. It's really so heartwarming. But at the same time, so sad that it's the result of humans that this has happened in the first place.
Yeah,
like all these stories are just a result of human activity, and like how much, like when are people going to get in their heads, like, to respect animals, to respect other people? Like it's just not easily digestible for some people.
My only hope is that the person didn't know they did this to Benny. Because how could you? How could you actually drive on if you caused that harm, So on the other side of the story, I hope that it was like a dark night and they thought it was something. I don't know. I just would like to think, I'm going to believe that the person didn't know they did this to poor Benny. But if you look at the photos of Benny,
it's so sad.
Let's move on. It's not for a Monday morning. Why did I lead at this story?
No, but people need to know, and they need to just have that awareness to be more responsible on the roads and with animals. But yeah, we'll move on to our next story. Warnings issued over medical products. So earlier this month, the World Health Organization put a warning against 4 pediatric medicines by Maiden Pharmaceuticals Limited. Now, the statement read that the products were substandard medical products, are products that fail to meet either their quality standards or specifications, and therefore are out of specification. And the Abu Dhabi Department of Health has put out a notice confirming that all 4 of these medicines are not available in the Emirate and much longer.
And then the department also called on community members who may have obtained the product to not use them and to seek medical help in case of side effects following the usage of any of the 4 products are Promethazine Oral Solution, Cofamaxin Baby Cough Syrup, Mactoff Baby Cough Syrup, and Magrib and Cold Syrup. Laboratory analysis of samples of each of the 4 products confirms that they contain unacceptable amounts of dilithium glycol and ethylene glycol as contaminants.
As per the World Health Organization, to date, these 4 products have been identified in the Gambia, and they have been distributed through informal markets to other countries or regions. So now these medicines have completely been stopped in the market, and you can no longer get them. And you can see the pictures beside us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. So if you have bought them previously, do discard them. And if you have used them, like mentioned in the statement, seek medical help.
Exactly. Speaking of help and advice, should we jump into our next story?
Yes.
So this taxi driver is giving lifts, and he's also giving life advice. I love this story. I love it so much. So we got a DM from this lady, and it's a video of a taxi driver who was giving her sound life advice. He was giving tips and tricks to a happy life. So that video came in through a DM. We put it on our page, and following that, we realized that so many people have gotten the same or similar life advice from this taxi driver. It's just amazing.
So the driver has been making the world a better place, one passenger at a time, and has been serving gentle reminders to passengers to be grateful for their lives for quite a while now.
So I want to go through, first of all, his life advice. He said, like, it's just amazing. If you want to go straight, go straight. If you want to go right, go right. Everything in life is possible. Say good health, good happiness, good family, good happy nights. Happiness means you're a rich person. So not the money. Happiness means you're a rich person. Don't get confused by what you want. If you want, do. Don't disturb your mind. It's your life. If you want, do good for your life. So fight for one life, a short life, a beautiful life.
Wow. That's a long piece of advice, but very sound.
You kind of have to go through it one by one because he's saying it in the video that we have. He's saying it and she's repeating him, and she repeats some words and she kind of fumbles a little bit in what she said, and he's like, no. Like, he picks her up on it, and he really means specifically what he is saying. One life, short life, it's a beautiful life.
I love that. That's very sweet. If I had a cab driver who was giving me that advice, I'd just be like, yes.
Have you ever had a cab driver who's given you great advice?
No, never actually. I know you have.
More than once.
And then
many times, actually.
Yeah, and then so Anika wrote the article, and she was just like putting screenshots of our comment section on Instagram, and a lot of people have claimed that they've had this driver who's given like so one person she replied, he drove us home one night and gave the same memorable speech, which was so heartwarming. Someone else replied, OMG, same driver gave me the speech. So a lot of people have had this driver who's just been dishing out this sound advice and, you know, like changing lives in like the most minuscule of all ways.
Well, it's interesting. I've been in it. I can remember too, but I feel like there's been more when I've had long conversations with taxi drivers, and they're telling me about, you know, life and, you know, what happiness really is, and it kind of gives you a little bit of perspective sometimes, you know, in terms of, you know, they're working 6 to 7 days a week, long hours. Many of them are like I've seen the family homes that they have built in their home country. You know, they're providing for their families. They're going through a very hard working life, but they're doing it with a cause and a purpose. Exactly. And it really gives you perspective into what your life is about. And I love, but honestly, it's happened to me once or twice, and I always thought that it was just for me. I thought that they were like, you know, because at least there's been 2 minimum that, like, you know, they were thinking about me and my life, but you know, I'm not special, I guess. But no, I think it's amazing that they're giving out this advice, or this particular taxi driver is, you know, making giving a lot of people perspective on what is a happy life.
Yeah, I mean, Casey, it's I feel like maybe you didn't have this driver. Maybe the drivers you did have were giving you advice specifically, seeing like the damage or whatever they noticed that they gave the advice. How did the conversation even come about for them to give advice?
I have no idea. You just start chatting and...
That's so cute. I just fall asleep in all my cab rides. So even if I've ever had this captain, he's like just not been able to interact with me because I'm like dead in the back seat.
You know, I have no doubt that you do that, because I speak to Bilal as one of the team here, and whenever if we have like a takeover shoot, he'll always drive us. And every now and then, like, we're chatting, and he's like, Simran, she just sleeps. And I'm like, how do you sleep during the day?
I can't help it. I just like fall asleep in a car. That's why I always prefer sitting in the back seat. The passenger seat is not.
How long does it take? Like, how long does a journey need to be before you fall asleep?
No, it can be a 2-minute journey. I'll be asleep. Like, it's just me sitting in a car, and I automatically, like, my senses just shut down.
Wow.
Unless I'm driving, which is very different.
Good. But so taxis, if you're in a car with friends, same thing?
Same thing. Like, it takes a lot to keep me awake in a car ride, like a lot. Like, I really have to just like force myself to stay awake with friends. Otherwise, if I don't need to, I won't. But
It's amazing. That's a skill. Like, you should put that on your CV. I can sleep in a car at any time in any place.
not just in a car, but yeah.
Oh, it doesn't need to be a car. You can sleep if turn off the lights. We weren't live. We weren't working. There was a nice little chair here. You could just sleep.
I could just sleep. But yeah, that's why I've missed out on all these like life-changing advice. But lucky you, 2 captains, 2 life-changing. Do you still remember what they told you?
I remember where I was when they were giving the life advice in different places on different roads. I remember multiple times I've seen the homes that they've created, which is pretty cool. And yeah, like there's always been like relationship advice thrown in there. And then I always talk about my mom. And then they're always like, you are so blessed because my mom lives here. And they're like, you're so blessed to have your mom living here. And you know, that's like the most amazing thing. And family's the most important thing. And
really just giving that perspective.
Yeah.
Guys,
anyway.
So a big win for Liverpool fans last night. So Liverpool fans in Dubai were over the moon on Sunday night following their big win. So there was no going back for Liverpool.
Sorry.
What? Is Ali saying
Ali
something?
just goes, Ali, why the reaction? He just said, I hate Liverpool. Yeah, it's an interesting choice of story for us. I wonder who supports Liverpool that we know.
I don't know.
Do you know someone who supports Liverpool?
I just saw a lot of people were watching this game last night, which was interesting.
Manchester City would not be screaming about this win, so we must know someone who supports Liverpool. Michael supports Liverpool.
Michael,
do you know anyone who supports Liverpool?
Michael, I know someone.
She knows someone who supports Liverpool. Interesting story. Okay,
but I know people supporting Manchester, and I know like the devastation and the whole thing.
Yeah, they wouldn't like this story today. The Manchester City teams.
But one person stole the show. We'll be talking more about him. So it was like a 1-0, and there was no going back for Liverpool when Mo Salah scored the only goal of the game against Manchester City on Sunday evening at Anfield and securing their win against Manchester City. And Salah made the crucial breakthrough in the second half, turning, how do you say his name? Ali Joao Cancelo? Is that right? Yeah, Joao Cancelo. And swiftly finishing.
Dubai residents took to social media platforms to express their 2 cents about the match. Albert Rivera tweeted, the rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester City over the past few years has been amazing, and they've shown that they are the 2 best teams in England. Controversial shout out. Max Swayze wrote, I've never been this supportive of Liverpool. Love what Salah did to Cancelo.
So, I mean, it's interesting. Like, it is one of the biggest rivalries, apparently. And did you not have, like, your friends watching this match and just, like, you know, booking out their Sunday nights for this?
I know people who support Man United. I know people who support other teams, not these 2 specific teams.
Not these 2.
So,
Ali, was it devastating for you?
He's like, why would it be devastating?
What? You don't like Liverpool, right? So the fact that they won?
His team wasn't playing.
Oh, what's your team? Okay. Yeah, no, I realized that.
Can you all hear Ali? Because his tone is just like...
Yeah. And Mo Salah...
What do you think of our decision to cover this football story, Ali?
Okay, we will cover the Man United one when it happens.
We could just turn it into a football show because I feel like our knowledge is solid. We can pronounce all the players' names and...
This is so funny. But Mo Salah was incredible.
Was he?
From what I read on the reports and stuff, like he was like a one-man, not a one-man army, but like practically he was killing it on the field, and they call him King Salah because he got that one goal, and then it was just like he saved it. Egyptian King, yeah.
Well, for sure. We have such a massive Salah audience. I actually saw him in downtown before. He was doing this Adidas event. It was so cool. The number of people that turned up to see him because he's such an icon, such a legend. It was just madness. It felt like, you know, when you're like he's probably one of the biggest celebrities I've ever seen in real life.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so. He's huge.
Yeah, he is.
Who have you seen? You've seen lots of people.
Just Usain Bolt, I think.
We saw Paris Hilton.
Oh we saw Paris.
We saw Paris
How do
Hilton.
you keep forgetting
The interview that never happened. Okay. Someone's saying, what about Arsenal win? Simran, what about the Arsenal win? Was that last night as well? Yeah. Four, yeah, there'd be 4 big matches last night. Yeah. But we chose to cover this one. It's so interesting. So Simran, what about the Arsenal win?
It was an interesting win though, like a nail-biting match. Nail-biting match, of course.
Always.
And I have to say, all the players had their A game on.
They barely won.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very last-minute win.
No.
Then?
And anything on El Clasico before we move on? I know that the people really want to ask about El Clasico since we're doing a sports segment.
Yeah, so the El Clasico match, that was weird, you know? Yeah. It was a quick one. It was a very quick one. It was like, are you guys playing? What's happening? Because it was like very, like not that much effort was really put in. It was just like a quick win. The game was done, sorted. Yeah.
No.
How was the match? How was El Clasico match?
No, that was perfect. I think that's sports done for today. But no doubt we'll be back tomorrow with the latest on sports. Get your tickets ASAP. George Ezra is at the Coca-Cola Arena this Friday, and to say we are buzzing is an understatement. This is the one you do not want to miss. So Mac Global is bringing the English singer-songwriter and Brit Award winner, one and only George Ezra, to the Coca-Cola Arena this Friday. Of course, you could expect his renowned new album, The Gold Rush Kid, including hit singles Anything for You and Green Green Grass.
Ooh, so the singer of the hit singles Shotgun and Budapest, George Ezra, has gone on to release 3 studio albums and has bagged multiple awards, including the Brit Award for British Male Solo Artist in 2019. So get your tickets now at coca-colaarena.com.
I'm so excited. I think this is going to be amazing. He is just has the most magical, magnificent voice. Tickets are flying out the door. Like we said, Coca-Cola Arena, coca-colaarena.com if you want to get your tickets. And it's happening this Friday, which means if you want something to look forward to this weekend, buy your tickets today. Tag us on your stories so we can see it. And then just send us your videos. Because this is the thing. We're going to wake up on Saturday morning and he's going to be singing Green Green Grass live. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be soulful. And you weren't there and you'll kick yourself. And it's going to be live on we'll put it on our stories and we'll be like, why did we not go?
That always happens.
It always happens. And then people will DM us, be like, oh, I didn't know it was on. Now you know. It's on. This
now
Friday.
You know, exactly.
Get your tickets. Something to look forward to this Friday, I mean. Okay, so before we jump into our interview, if you want to win the Xiaomi Buds 3, tag someone who has a terrible taste in music, or tag someone who has terrible taste in music.
And don't say anything, just tag them.
Just tag them. And we'll know why. We'll all know why the tags are coming through. It's like this weird inception of shade. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to be joined by Dubai resident Sharon Moss, who shares her breast cancer story. Of course, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we cannot wait to have her on the show. She's going to be with us in very, very short time. Welcome back to Lovin Dubai show. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and ladies, this is your annual reminder to get checked. With us today is a friend of the show who joined us last year to share her story and is here again to continue to advocate and spread breast cancer awareness message. Welcome back to the show, Sharon Moss. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Not at all. I wasn't here last time, so I'm so excited to have you on the show today.
Welcome back. So for those who missed the interview last time, could you just tell us who is Sharon Moss and a little bit more about you?
So I was diagnosed with breast cancer in May last year. So I was 28 years old. No family history, completely random. I'm a teacher. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock. But yeah, I'm now kind of a year and a bit out of that. So yeah.
No family history.
No.
28 years old. Out here teaching. I'm already like that already affects me. You know, it's scary.
Yeah.
Why did you get checked?
So I had been in the gym. Again, I didn't have any like signs or symptoms, like I wasn't unwell. I had been in the gym and just pulled my arm and went like that, and the bottom of my hand literally just like caught on a lump. And you know when you just think, that maybe shouldn't be there. It just felt like a marble underneath my skin. But you know when just something is telling you like it shouldn't be there. So I was like, right, I'm just going to go and get it checked, and thought just to rule anything out. But the doctors took it really seriously straight away. I had biopsies, ultrasounds, and then a mammogram, and then within 2 weeks I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Yeah. So, but I wasn't ill, I wasn't unwell. It was literally my only symptom, just a tiny lump. So
wow.
Yeah, very lucky, very, very lucky.
So was it detected at a very early stage?
Yes, so it was stage 1, which it was so aggressive though. So the type that I had was the most aggressive type of breast cancer. It's called triple negative. It's only 15% of breast cancers are triple negative. And yeah, so it was so aggressive that had I have left that, like I may not have even been sat here today. Like it could have been that bad. But when I caught it, it was stage 1, which someone was looking down on me to get that checked. So yes.
Oh my god.
Can you remember that moment? Because I just to feel well, but then to be told that you have this this very aggressive cancer. What were your feelings like at that time?
Well, my first reaction was like, how can I have cancer but not be ill? Because you think of someone with cancer and you think of someone being unwell, and obviously I wasn't. So one of my first things that I said was, but I'm not ill. And I remember my doctor saying, but if you were ill, it would be too late. Like if you were ill, it would be a completely different story. And then I was just more worried about like what my family were going to think. Because obviously they were back in England and I knew I would be fine. You know, I just wanted to get on with whatever I had to do. But then I was like, oh gosh, now I've got to tell like everyone at home and my family back at home, like how are they going to react? So yeah, so it was kind of, it was an interesting like situation. And actually after they told me, I was like, okay, so I need to go to work now. And the doctors were like, you're not going to work. Like we've just diagnosed you with cancer. Like,
do you mean like that day?
Yeah, that
you were planning to go back into school?
Yeah. Like I had my
those teachers on.
I was literally like, right, I need to be there this afternoon. They were like, you are not going to work. But I just wanted to just get on with it, you know, like I couldn't believe it was happening. So I was like, right, I just need to just get on with it.
So yeah. Right after you were diagnosed, the treatment started. Was it painful? How was the process and everything like?
It was, do you know what? It actually wasn't too bad. Like a lot of people have said to me, like, what does cancer feel like? Like, what does it feel when you have cancer? And like chemo was hard. Obviously, like it does, you don't feel necessarily well the whole time, but I found it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. You just kind of feel a bit like spaced out the whole time. But yeah, it's difficult to explain actually, like unless you've kind of done it. And some people are really, really unwell with chemo, but I was very lucky and I wasn't. So yeah, I was okay.
And just obviously as an expat, how long have you been in Dubai?
6 years now.
So the one thing we say about living here is that we have amazing opportunities, but we're not with our family. So was it a decision to go through the healthcare system here, and what was that like for you?
Well, the decision was kind of made for me because at that time it was COVID and everything. There was like, you know, the red lists and everything. Like there actually were no flights to get back. If I wanted to go back, there could have been ways that we could have done it, but I just needed to start the treatment. So I kind of didn't really have a choice. It was like, get on with it here and just power through. So yeah, but I'm very thankful to have been here because the healthcare is amazing here and everything started so quick and the doctors are amazing and everything's just been fantastic. Like with chemo, I had my own little room and my friend used to come with me, and I just used to think I was going to the spa every week, like just sat there chilling. Like it was actually quite relaxing sometimes. So yeah, I was very, very grateful to be here, really.
Did the treatment affect your stamina? I'm sure it did, but like once the treatment was over, how long did it take for you to regain your stamina and like for you to just go back to your day-to-day activities as normal?
Well, I tried to like keep my life as normal as possible the whole way through. But I had 2 lots of chemo, and actually the second lot was really hard, and I didn't feel well at that point. And I tried to save my hair. So I used to sit with ice on my head to try and save my hair. And I think when I came in last time, my hair hadn't really fallen out, but it started to fall out like with 2 sessions left to go. And actually that was the hardest part for me, because I was then so conscious that my hair was falling out. So I definitely didn't feel myself like towards the end of chemo. And then, but in terms of feeling myself and kind of just I just kind of got on with it. But I'd say it's kind of only really now that I feel like my life is completely back to normal, because after I had radiotherapy as well, I had chemo tablets. So I only really finished everything in July. So I feel like now it's kind of like it's done now. I can put it behind me and move on. So yeah, it's only really been the last couple of months I felt 100% back to normal.
That's such great news, because I was going to say, you're sharing your story on Instagram, and you're 16 rounds of chemo down, you've had a lumpectomy, 30 rounds of radiotherapy, 8 rounds of...
So so I had 6 months of chemo tablets as well. So
following that, and now you're...
done. Everything's done, so yeah.
And your main message, and why we're so grateful to have you on, is spreading breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
But you've also shared your journey the whole way through. Why did you decide to share your journey?
Well, to start with, it was actually just to kind of keep all of my friends and family back home, like in the know of what was going on. But then obviously I realized that you can spread so much awareness on Instagram, and the people you reach on Instagram, and help so many people. And I think when I was first diagnosed, I went on Instagram to find people who had come out the other side. And then I was like, oh, hang on, like I can do that for other people as well. And I get so many messages where people say like because they've been able to see how like my whole journey, it makes it less scary for them, because they can see kind of what's coming. And because my story was very positive, it just kind of sets people up on the right foot to kind of start their journey. So, and also just to spread that awareness that it can happen to anyone. Like I was a teacher, living my normal life, like 28 years old, and then all of a sudden I had cancer. Like it can literally, if it happened to me, it can happen to anyone.
And early detection is so important.
So important. And like if you think there is something wrong or isn't right, just go and get it checked. I just think even if it turns out to be nothing, like at least that's peace of mind for you. But if I hadn't have got that checked, like I say, like I probably wouldn't be sitting here now, which is a scary thought. So just get things checked, and yeah.
So it's so amazing that you finished these treatments and you've come out on the other side strong and well and good. But what have the doctors advised? Are they telling you like to come back for regular checkups? Is it something that can come up again? Is there a possibility of that?
Yeah, so hopefully I should be fine, because the main thing that you can kind of do to prevent it coming back is to catch it so early. So because I caught it at stage 1, obviously that's kind of the biggest help that I can give to myself. But they've just said things like having a healthy lifestyle. Stress is a massive like contributor. Obviously as a teacher, it's quite a stressful job. So just making sure like I'm not getting myself stressed, enough sleep, healthy lifestyle. And I have 3-month checkups where I have like an ultrasound and my blood's taken and things. So they're keeping an eye on it just in case, but hopefully I should be fine.
It's a hard one, the stress. It's like,
I know.
How do you control that? But what you were saying about getting checked, so it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There's a pink caravan going around the city. It's going to be at Raw Coffee on Sunday the 31st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm going to be there. May as well get myself checked, because I actually haven't before, and now I'm thinking I'm at the age, I'm 33, and it's like, should have done this a few years ago. But what were the helpful Dubai resources for you throughout the time? Like, were there helpful resources that you could kind of like check out for information, or great hospitals, or what would you recommend?
So I just Googled kind of where to go, and then found my hospital. But like you say, there is the Pink Caravan and the Al Jalila Foundation. Like they do a lot of things around breast cancer awareness. Like there's a centre for women and things, and all of the hospitals, like you can see that they've got like different centres for breast cancer. So there is a lot around Dubai that you can kind of go to for help.
It was amazing that you shared your story again. So thank you so much. Guys, that was Sharon Moss. And how can people find you on Instagram? Because I think it's important that she's documented everything and it's been an emotional journey following you. Love your story, love your positivity throughout all of it. So thank you for sharing it. How can people find it?
So my Instagram is Shan Knows Breast.
Shan Knows Breast. Yes. Okay, guys, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That was Sharon Moss. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Enjoy your half term. You're off to Armenia.
Yes. Can't wait.
Don't make us jealous. Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning. Goodbye for me.
Goodbye for me.
See ya.